sure you see it live on your phone.
We live.
Live. Wonderful. Right then. Let's give the Facebook world a few minutes to tune in. Was that you that just popped in there?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because it's not telling me who is watching, but I can see there's a couple of folks in there. I hope this one lets me know. We'll find out. Did you log out?
Yep, I'm still there.
Okay, then it's some
I started a
watch party.
watch party.
Oh, fun. Then the question is, have you liked Karmic Roots Yoga on Facebook?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
That's interesting because usually when somebody has liked it, it pops up specifically saying that you have logged in.
Well, maybe I have not.
Good morning, good morning. How are you today? Your friends popping in. I'm not getting the little notifications this morning letting me know who's there. So if you want to say hi, I do have the little chat screen open. If you have requests, parts of your body today that could use a little support, or things that are coming up for you. For example, like your back, or shoulder, maybe neck, or maybe you're feeling anxiety coming up and are looking for some tools to support that. Good morning. Hi, Mom. Alright, so we're using the new Facebook Live tool, and it looks like it doesn't tell me who's logging in. This I can now confirm because, Mom, I definitely know you have liked Karmic Roots Yoga, so it's not letting me know who's logging in and viewing. So unless you say hi to me, I don't know if you're there or not. So please, please, please feel free to say hi in the comments. And of course, if you have any requests for this morning's mindful movement practice, let me know that too. So just wait another minute and then we'll go ahead and get started with our practice today. Hi Elena, good morning. Today's practice, if you have a blanket, that might be a nice extra prop today. Okay, Mom, that sounds good. Switching devices. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get started this morning. Welcome, welcome. I'm Paige with Karmic Roots Yoga, and in the background we have Joel playing on his guitar, accompanying as always, just creating a really special, sacred experience for us this morning. So, for our practice today, we'll begin laying down, face down, on a mat or blanket or even just on your floor. And this morning we're going to take up space. So make sure you have a little room around you to kind of roll around, because we will be rolling around just a little bit. You don't need to have mats set up the way I do. This is simply so that I can demo in different directions, just in case you need to peek up and take a look at what's going on this end. So let's make our way onto our stomachs if you're not already there. Bring the elbows in underneath of the shoulders. And maybe kind of shift from hip to hip, letting the muscles of your legs, your stomach really settle into the earth in this moment. And root down into those elbows and lift up your head and your heart. Maybe lift your hands and spread your fingers out and then gently release them back down to the mat. And take a look over your right shoulder and bring your right knee out to the side, no higher than hip height, but anywhere along there. And this is where a blanket might be nice. You can put a blanket in underneath of the knee and leg, just kind of let it relax onto that, just to give a little extra support for the leg. And then we're just gonna melt back down to the earth. The elbows can swing out, the hands can stack, or you can send your right arm down by your right hip and turn onto a cheek looking toward the right. If you keep your hands stacked, you can rest your forehead on your hands. We're just gonna rest here in this half frog pose and begin to connect to our breathing. One breath at a time. I'm taking this time this morning to check in. Notice your mood. And notice how you're feeling or anything at all on your mind. How does the morning feel for you already? Maybe you've been up for a while, or maybe you're still in your PJs and you've just rolled out of bed for this practice, which, by the way, can probably be done entirely in bed. And know that anything that's coming up is absolutely okay. Yoga's not just about all the sunshine and good vibes, but it's about experiencing and recognizing any and all emotions and feelings that are coming up for us. It's in beginning to recognize these and label them with a sense of not being defined by that. So, for example, if I notice that there's some anxiety coming up for me, instead of saying I'm anxious, defining myself as that, instead, the opportunity to say I'm noticing anxiety, or anxiety is showing, something like that. Even I'm experiencing, versus I am the anxiety. I'm anxious. We can change that language. Anxiety is present. Maybe it's something else. I'm just noticing. And then even the happy experiences, we can come with the same, knowing that there's impermanence to all of these things. Happiness is present. Joy is here. Whatever it may be, will be. Breathing softer and smoother and a little bit longer here. Notice how the stretch is feeling for you this morning. Breathing softer, smoother, and a little bit longer. Now slowly rise up on the elbows, bringing them back in under the shoulders. And then walk both elbows toward that right knee, still keeping the right knee out to the side. Making a little C curve in the spine, and then optional, drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. Noticing what's coming up. Noticing how this pose feels. Where do you feel it? Where do you experience it? And then invite yourself back to your breath. The natural rhythm. The in and out. A little softer. A little smoother. And a little bit longer than the natural rhythm. Stretching that left side of the body while the right side is getting a little slackening. Kind of showing the muscles where they can find a little more ease. Maybe about 10 more seconds here. And we'll bring the head back to neutral. Walk the arms back to center. Now take your left arm behind your right arm. Okay? And then lower your right shoulder down to the mat. And now keep your left leg across your body. However, roll onto your back. Roll onto your back. Let the left foot come onto the right leg. Right leg come onto the left. Open the right arm out to your side. Let the left arm rest on the right leg. So that you're in a twist here. So the left hip is on the floor. And the right hip is lifted up off the floor, any amount. And then right knee is crossed over your body slightly, and really let the right shoulder glue itself down to the floor. You might notice here you're off of your mat. Let yourself be. Take up that space. Then maybe gaze over the right arm. And if you want, you can let the right leg slide off of the left leg, but you don't have to. You can stay on there. Breathing softly and smoothly, a little bit longer than the natural rhythm. And now start to bring your right hip all the way to the floor, and as you do, let the right foot land on the floor. The right knee is bent, the left leg is long, and then let the right knee tip open to the right. The right foot can touch the left leg. And then your arms, they can open out to a T, or you could reach them up overhead if you want a little more stretch in the shoulders. Let the backs of the hands come down to the floor. You can bend your elbows as much as you like here to let the arms connect to the ground. You might also choose to have your hands rest on your hips or on your ribs, or even bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the low belly. It's your choice. Exploring what serves you this morning. Breathing softer and smoother. A little bit longer than the natural rhythm. And then come back to how you felt at the beginning of the practice. And what came up for you, what was stirred. And in this moment, consider what would support you in that feeling, that experience. So I'll come back to the anxiety example, because that's a little bit of what has come up for me this morning. And sometimes what supports me is feeling centered and grounded. So invite in what might support you. And this might come up right away, you know what would support you. And sometimes we're a little uncertain as to what exactly would. And then in that case, you can sit with the question, what would guide me? What would support me in this moment? And whatever it is you're inviting in, give it a color today. Imagine, what color does this look like? What color does grounding, centering look like? And visualize that color. Maybe it's solid, maybe it's swirling color. Breathing softer and smoother, a little bit longer. Now, keeping the right knee exactly where it is, simply extend the leg so that your legs are in kind of an X shape, and your arms too now can reach out, opening up into a full X here. Bend the right knee now, planting the right foot. The knee faces the sky. And then press through that right heel, rolling yourself onto your left side. Let the right hand scoot along the floor until it reaches the left hand, and hold the right wrist with your left hand. Your head can rest on your left arm, and then slowly straighten your right leg out behind you. Maybe point through the toe. Your left hand can gently draw your right arm long. Think of like the weight of 10 butterflies guiding this. So just a little lengthening here. Breathing here, kind of just balancing here on this side. Know that if it doesn't serve you, you can always unwind back onto your spine. Can you breathe a little more fully into the right side of the body? And now with your next exhale, see if you can let yourself gently flop back onto your back. So just kind of floop. That kind of a animated sound, a little flop onto the back. And then stretch out wide again. Inhale, reach through fingers, reach through toes, fill up the lungs. And with an exhale, let everything go and exhale out the mouth. Inhale, fill up, reach through fingers, reach through toes, point, 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 reach. Open mouth, let it go. One more time. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale. Good. Slide the right leg over next to the left. Bring the left in next to the right and lower the arms. Bend the knees now. Planting the feet, lift and lower the hips. And cross the right ankle over the left thigh for figure 4. The right knee can tip open to the right here. You can bring your right hand onto the leg. You can rock a little side to side. If you want to explore, you might use that left leg to bring both legs towards your chest. And if you do that, you can wrap the left arm around the back of the left leg. You can have the right hand on the right knee, your leg, your Even bring it between the legs and also hold on to that left leg. You can rock here too. Breathing softer and smoother, maybe a little longer, maybe circle the left ankle if you have that leg lifted up. And slowly lower both legs back down to the mat. Press into the heels, lift your hips up and down. And then slide the legs long. And just noticing in this moment how everything is feeling. What sensations do you notice? Breathing softer, smoother, a little bit longer than the natural rhythm. Noticing all the points where your body is connected to the earth. Can you still see your color of support? Swirling or solid? Imagine it gently growing until all of you becomes filled up with that color. It might even expand out and around you, a glowing color holding you, supporting you. Now, ask yourself, in what way can I make my way back onto my stomach with the least amount of effort? And see it in your mind. What would it look like first? And then when you have an idea, slowly start to move. So, making your way back onto your stomach with the least amount of effort, however that looks like for you. And then once you're on your stomach, bring your hands in line with your shoulders, tucking the elbows toward the ribs, and gently press yourself up to hands and knees, just long enough to take the knees wide. Let the toes come together, and then sink your hips towards your heels and bring your forehead either to your stacked hands or to the mat for a child's pose. Breathing in, softer, smoother, a little bit longer. Notice the breath. Notice where you feel the breath. Can you feel the expansion, the front side into the earth? What about a sensation of rising and expanding through the back side of the body, along the rib, along the spine, upward and outward, exhaling, drawing back inward and downward, breathing in and breathing out. Slowly bring yourself up to hands and knees, bringing the knees back in under the hips. If you had a blanket on your right side, move it over to the left side now. And then slowly make your way back onto your stomach. Elbows in under shoulders, lifting the head and heart. And maybe looking over that left shoulder and sliding that left knee out to the side. It can be on a blanket or on the floor here. And when you're ready, melting the heart back down to the earth, letting the elbows swing out. You can stack the hands here, or the left arm can sweep down by the left leg. You can turn onto your right cheek, resting and breathing. A softer, smoother breath, a little bit longer than the natural rhythm. Perhaps comparing the sides. Being reminded of how it felt to have the right leg out to the side, where you noticed and felt this. And then now, how does it feel with the left leg? Are there similarities or differences? You notice one hip up higher than the other? Is there more tension in any particular area? And just observing the experience. There's nothing you need to do to change it. Being with what is there. Breathing. Softer and smoother. A little bit longer than the natural rhythm. See your color, your glowing, healing color, supporting you, guiding you. And when you're ready, bringing the elbows in under the shoulders, lifting your head and heart up. And walk both elbows toward that left leg, creating a little bend, little C curve. Optional left ear toward the left shoulder this time. Slackening the left side. A gentle stretch for the right side of the body. Let the breath be softer and smoother. A little bit longer than the natural rhythm now. Slowly bring the head back to neutral and walk the arms back to unwind the spine. We're going to take that twist to make our way onto our back. So this time, the right arm is going to tuck behind the left arm. Lower the right shoulder toward the earth. And then slowly spin open onto your back. The left leg stays across the body. The left hip stays lifted. The left foot can come to rest on the right leg. Or, excuse me. Or you can leave it open out to the side. See if you can slowly unwind enough to land the left shoulder onto the mat so that your chest starts to face toward the ceiling. And the right hand can come to rest on that left leg. Your gaze could shift toward the left if you like. Breathing here. Softer. Smoother. A little bit longer now. Slowly now, let the left hip come down to the mat. The left foot lands on the floor. And let the left knee tip open to the left. The left foot can touch the right leg. It doesn't have to. And the arms can open to a T. Rest by your side. They can rest on your body. A hand to the heart perhaps. Or you can reach them overhead. Letting the backs of the hands connect to the floor, bend in the elbows, allowing the shoulders to soften downward. Breathing wherever you are. A little bit softer. A little bit smoother. A little longer now. Can you see your color? Bring it back to your mind, your heart. That glowing color of healing and support. Breathing softer, smoother. A little bit longer. Let the left hip stay exactly where it is. And straighten the left knee so that the legs are in a wide X shape. Reach the arms overhead to complete the X. Point through toes, reach through fingers, and just take a stretch this time. Maybe lifting the ribs up. And when you're ready, sinking, exhaling. Bend that right knee, left knee, left knee. Plant the left foot. Press through the heel and rotate onto the right hip. The left arm slides across until the right hand can hold the left wrist. You can let your head rest on the bottom arm and then send your left leg long. Breathing here, the weight of 5 snails on that upper wrist, gently drawing it a little bit longer. Let your next exhale gently flop you onto your back. Reach wide again. And this time tighten up all the muscles. Reach your fingers, reach through toes. Inhale, filling up. Open mouth, exhale, let it all go. Twice more. As you're ready, inhale, filling. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, fill up, up. Sound or sigh out the mouth this time. Side the legs towards one another. Lower the arms. Bend the knees and plant the feet. Maybe lift and lower your hips. Make any adjustments to your clothes. Now cross the left ankle over the right thigh, left knee tipping open. Your left hand can support that leg. And all the same options as on the other side. You can add rocking here. For other sensations, use the right leg to bring both legs a little more toward your torso. You can use just the muscles of the legs, so both the legs will reach up with the right hand or both hands. You can add rocking here too if you choose. If you've lifted the right foot up off the floor, you can circle the ankle. Breathing softer, smoother, and a little bit longer than the natural rhythm. And slowly, both feet land. Lift and lower the hips. Maybe shrug the shoulders. And then send both legs long to check in once again. A mini Savasana. See what you notice. Be reminded of your intention and the color of your intention today. Breathing softer and smoother. A little bit longer now. And just as you did before, considering the least amount of effort to make your way back onto the front side of your body. See yourself doing it. And then slowly begin to make your way. Maybe you rest on your side for a moment before landing on the stomach. Bring the hands in under the shoulders, elbows by the sides, and press yourself up and back again into a child's pose. Knees wide, toes together, hips sink toward the heels, heart melts down, and forehead either meets the floor or your fist stacked. Breathe in here. Maybe wiggling a little side to side and noticing how this child's pose feels compared to the first one. Any similarities or differences? Noticing your breath and where you experience it. The front, the back, along the sides of the ribs. Wow. Slowly rising up. Bringing the knees in under the hips. Wrists in line with the shoulders. They can be directly under. Or you can take your hands a little wider. See what feels supportive for you. And the toes could curl under if you like, or you can let the tops of your feet rest. Take your gaze toward the floor, the top of your head reaching. Now see if you can let the stomach sink downward as you lift your tail up. Lift your head and heart, rooting down through the palms, the fingertips, and each of the knuckles. Breathe here. Cow pose. And on your next exhale, reversing this, tuck your tail, lift your spine up and tuck your head, chin toward the chest, cat pose. Maybe shake your head as if you're saying a slow no, or nod as if you're saying a slow yes. And then with your breath, at your pace, inhales up to cow. Exhales, reversing spine to the sky, tail and head tucked. You can add any little movement you like, maybe bending the elbows, sinking your heart down toward the earth and then scooping it back up. Exhales, reversing. Maybe play with seeing what it feels like to let the head be the last thing to rise or to sink. Maybe as you find cow pose, you think of squeezing the shoulders towards one another, the shoulder blades. And then when you exhale, think of the shoulder blades, the scapula sliding as far apart as you can imagine. Different options for you to explore. Adding on this time, whenever you next round your spine up to a cat, slowly sink the hips towards the heels. And then as you inhale, rounding the spine up again, cat pose, and then sink the belly, lift the head, heart, tail. Exhale, reverse, spine up, find that cat, sink towards the hips. Inhales to rise up. And find your cow. You can add additional breaths in this, or move it a little more quickly to sync with your breath, whatever serves you. And the next time you sink your hips towards your heels, pausing there. And if your forehead meets the mat, letting it rest, or bringing the hands in under the forehead. If your forehead meets the mat, feel free to take your hands down by your feet, palms facing the sky. And you're just curling all the way into yourself. And notice your breath here. softer, smoother, and a little bit longer. Slowly rising up and finding your blanket and placing it where your head will go. Gently making your way onto your back. If you have additional layers you would like to add, maybe some socks or a sweater, adding those in now before you make your way onto your back. We'll move through a couple of more poses and then a final resting. And today during your final resting, I'll offer a little bit of guidance, a visualization to go with that color from earlier. So making your way onto your back. And once you're there, hug your knees in towards your chest, curling up, just like we were on the front side, but now this time on our back. You might add a little rocking. You could cross your ankles here. You can have your knees close to one another, or you can let your knees open away from one another. You can rock to one side or the other. You can let one leg slightly stretch out, exploring and feeling this movement. And maybe if you want, bringing the hands to the backs of the thighs and then keeping the knees bent and wide, letting one heel reach up toward the ceiling, the other can stay bent. You can tip toward the side and then back in the other direction. It's like little half happy babies here. Side to side. So when you rock to the left, your left heel reaches upward and outward. When you rock to the right, the left bends and the right reaches. And maybe coming to center and setting both heels up, the knees hug toward the outsides of the rib cage. Happy baby. You could reach up and hold the bottoms of the feet if you like that. And then curling up into a ball again. And gently releasing the feet to the mat. Lift and lower the hips. And then send the legs long if you choose. You could bring a blanket in on top. You take any last movement that might feel supportive. Maybe a bound angle, letting the bottoms of the feet come to touch and the knees tip open. Like a butterfly. And coming back to your breath now. Softer. Smoother, and a little bit longer. You can allow yourself to drift and dream. If you'd like, you can follow the guidance for visualization. Being reminded of the intention you set and what you're inviting in to support you this morning. And be reminded of the color that you identified with what you're inviting in. And imagine you have a clear jar. Maybe a jar with about a 3-inch opening on top. And it's filled with the color. A magical paint. It's filled with your color. And see now also a paintbrush about 2 inches wide. And touch the bristles of this paintbrush, the softest bristles you have ever experienced. They're like velvet against your skin. Comforting, even slightly warm. And take your paintbrush now and dip it into your magical jar of paint, your intention, your paint of intention. And let the bristles fill with paint, and then wipe off any excess. And then take the paintbrush and put one line of paint across your left palm. And notice that this paint feels unique in that it is comfortably warm. Gentle to the touch, but not ticklish. It's a comfortable touch for you. And watch the paint now. And then see it gently melt away into your skin, being absorbed by you. So that it dries and leaves behind clean, warm, not a trace left behind. And so paint another line next to where you put the first, and then another, until your palm has been covered in the magical paint, nourishing. And watch as those lines too are absorbed by you. And paint each of the fingers, painting and witnessing the magical nourishing paint, the healing paint, the supporting paint be absorbed by you. And paint the back of the hand, and there too the paint is absorbed. Now continue painting. It can be at your pace, painting the wrist, and the forearm, the elbow, and the upper arm. As you paint, the paint is absorbed, nourishing and supporting you, painting your shoulder, and now across the collarbone, and down the right arm now, shoulder, upper arm, the elbow, forearm, and the wrist, the back of the hand, the fingers, the palm. Witness the paint drying and being absorbed by you, comforting and supporting you. Paint the front of the neck now. And now paint along the jawline, across the bridge of the nose, the temples, across the brow bone and the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, across the upper lip, the lower lip, the chin. Paint behind the ears, the back of the neck. Nourishing. Paint is absorbed, supporting you. Painting the back of the shoulders, the back of the neck. Paint down the spine. Now painting up and across the hips, up and across the ribs. Painting the bone running down the center of the chest, all the way to the stomach. Now painting the left leg, upper leg, and the knee. As you go, paint absorbs, nourishing and supporting you. Painting the lower leg, and the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot and toes. And painting the right leg now, upper leg, the knee, lower leg, top of the foot, bottom of the foot, and toes. Paint is absorbed. Now scanning back, see if there's any last place you would like to paint. Where might you need a little extra support? And know that your paint will not run out, this magical paint. So you can use as much as you need. Or you might drift and dream for a moment more, breathing here. Slowly now, paint aside. It's time to make your way to seated. Begin by noticing all of the points where you're connected to the earth. And gently invite subtle movement. Noticing the breath. And before making your way to seated, consider the least effort-filled way. And then as you're ready, making your way up to seated this morning. With our hands at our hearts, welcome back. Have a beautiful day wherever you are. And let that peace-filled paint support and nourish you in your intention. As always, it's an honor to be here with you. Thank you for the opportunity. With love, from our hearts to yours, we bow to you. We are connected. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you have a wonderful day, whether you're watching this live with Joel and myself in this moment or you're tuning in later on. Please let us know if there's any way we can support you during this time. As for us, a share, a like, a comment, and financial contributions can be made to our Venmo or PayPal, and those are noted in the description. And if you ever have any trouble with that, you can simply message me and I can offer support there. Have beautiful days. Thank you all. Bye.